up, guys? I'm here with my HG 205 group. Well, we're going to talk about Greek versus non-Greek life and kind of the questions behind it, along with our own opinions about it. So, my name's Gunnar. I am not in Greek life. I'm currently in a club, and personally, like with my friends and kind of my own opinions, just like I haven't heard the best things about Greek life. I just heard a lot of these negative stigmas that have made me scared to join along with them as well.
My name is Lauren. I'm in Greek life, and bouncing off what you said, I feel like you can't really say that because you've never personally experienced. I feel like when people do say that, it's kind of just like this, what's the word? Like not rumor, but like just this opinion that people have created. And I feel like you can't really do that until you experience it yourself. And for a lot of people, like especially my friends, it's been a really good foundation for them to like build friendships and meet people. And even with the stigmas and all that stuff, I feel like people in Greek life who do have a good foundation of friends, they can kind of like disagree with that a little bit.
This is Kylie Asher, and I am a freshman here, and I am not in a sorority. And I've definitely heard rumors and stories about Greek life and stuff like that. But I also have talked to people who think it's just the best thing ever. And so I was kind of torn when I came here, deciding if I thought that I should join or not. And I decided not to, but not necessarily because of the rumors and the bad things that people have heard, but just because me personally, I wanted to be able to control what I could control coming into my freshman year and focus on my grades and the gym and my priorities and stuff like that. So I've definitely, and it's just it to me it seemed like a time it was very time consuming. But again, what I was saying, I haven't been in a sorority. I haven't had the responsibilities. So
I also feel like it depends on your personality too.
Oh, 100%.
Because
I know people that I thought they would be perfect for certain, and they just did not click with the right group. Especially if you don't like it, and I don't know how it really works, but if you let's say you join a house and it just doesn't click, it can turn out to a really bad experience. And I've heard that happen to a couple people. It's not very common, but
it can happen for sure.
Yeah, and as a freshman, going into it all, I feel like that negative stigma can always, kind of influence a person's decision. It definitely influenced mine, and now that I've kind of seen what it's like, I kind of regret making that decision on my own. But I wouldn't regret my decision in any sense because it kind of led me where I am now, and I'm doing a lot of fun stuff that never thought I would do in college. But I just kind of wish I went into it with a more open mind, because I think a lot of people are just blinded by the negative effects, and you can kind of see that. I heard sorority rush and fraternity rush has gone lower down the years, just kind of nationally, and I think that negative stigma is kind of influencing and kind of brainwashing people's minds. I don't know if you guys have anything to say that on the fraternity side.
Yeah, so my name's Max. I'm a sophomore and I'm in a fraternity here. And personally, I think it's the best decision I ever made. And I wanted to join one because, I actually didn't. I just knew that I wanted to come to Wazoo. So I was visiting my brother who was in a fraternity here, and I stayed with him for a week. And I just hands down knew I loved all the guys. They were super welcoming. And they made me just feel really comfortable there. And I made my own friends. And now I'm I just couldn't be happier with the decision I made. But I also understand that there is a lot of negative I don't want kind of stereotypes, I guess, but not I don't know if that's the right word. I guess just stigma or opinions, but that wouldn't want to make people join. And that I also realized that people do just come to college to get a degree and focus on school, and they don't really care about social life and all that. And I'm not saying again that that's everybody, but I definitely was one of the people that just wish I had branched out more in college. And so a fraternity was a great way to do that.
Yeah, and I agree with you on stereotypes. I think that falls. I mean, you guys could probably agree on sororities and fraternities, all the
Yeah.
stereotypes behind that. And I used to truthfully believe those stereotypes until I got to actually meet people and actually meet groups of people in Greek, and it kind of gave me that incentive that I was wrong, and I can learn from that, and definitely wish I could tell my younger self that there's more opportunities. But like I said, I wouldn't regret my decision now of where it led me, but obviously there's a lot of cool
I feel
stuff.
like you don't have to like it's not really a thing where it's like, ooh, you're not in Greek life or like whatever. Like I feel like it's just your own personal path and like wherever it takes you, and like everyone has their own personal like wants. And for some people, getting in Greek life is because they want to be involved in something, want a sort of like commitment and something to kind of keep them like on a straight path, keep them in line. And for some people, they already have that somewhere else within college, and so they don't need that. I feel like that's also another thing.
So I actually agree with what Max said earlier. Like Greek life for me was a really good decision. And like Kylie said earlier, some people have bad experiences and get into like the wrong house. So I actually freshman year was in a different fraternity and I ended up dropping them. Because I knew a couple people in the house from high school, so I decided, that was just where I was going. And there's something called suicide rushing, where you kind of just focus on one house and you don't really look at the other options. So that's what I ended up doing, and I ended up like not getting along with anyone in the house. I didn't even know like half the people in my PC's name by the end of the year. So I actually ended up dropping them. And then this year I decided to go with a different fraternity that I made the decision based off what I observed and, kind of did what you're supposed to do from the beginning. And I ended up, finding people I actually get along with, and, I clicked with them. So I actually have a really fun time. And they actually hold you accountable with your grades too. So it's not like you're just, joining like a monkey house and you're just, letting yourself go and slip. There's a lot of standards that they hold you to. So it makes it kind of easy to have fun, and also, you don't really have to worry about your grades slipping and stuff like that, because they will take like measures to make sure that you're staying on track, stuff like that.
And another like thing about like it actually is like lifelong, where it's like I know, like I guarantee you, like all of the people that like I like in my PC that went through like the process with, like they're all gonna be like at my wedding and stuff like that. But like we meet so many alumni that come through for like home games, and there are gonna be so many for Apple Cup, and like it's so fun to like give them tours of the house, because like just of how much it's changed, because they haven't been there in like 50, 60 years, or like some of them come back for like 70. Like it's insane, and they tell you like some pretty crazy stories about like stuff that went down.
So, sorry, but kind of like before we just kind of run out of time, I kind of wanted to touch base on some, questions of both sides of what could kind of be like. I wanted like the fraternity and Greek people just to kind of talk about like, what do you guys have in response to the negative stigmas that go around?
I think everyone has a right to their own opinion, and if that's like what you think, that's totally okay. And I feel like if you do meet a kind person like in Greek life or something else, they could potentially change your opinion. But I mean, everyone has a right to their own opinion, and that's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with your own opinion. But I just think that if I know the honest truth within my house, then that opinion doesn't affect me personally.
I completely agree, because like there are a lot of like people and there are a lot of like houses on Greek Row, obviously. So like there are gonna be like a few, what's that saying, like a couple bad apples spoil the bunch or whatever. It's like I feel like that's pretty common in Greek life at like most schools, where it's like there are a couple incidents or a couple houses that really cause problems, and then it just like creates this whole like bubble around like Greek Row of like just negativity. And like as long as you can just like prove to like yourself and like the rest of the house, like, because you don't really need to prove it to others, like if you believe it and you know it, then I think that's like all that's important.
Yeah, and I'm glad we touched base on that, because I feel like both sides are good, and there's no negative to either side, whether you're in it or not. We're all on a pathway to success in our own way. And, you know, we always intertwine too. We have relationships in Greek and outside of Greek. So I never feel like, you know, I'm glad my perspective changed throughout my life. And I, you know, hope your guys' did too, who's not in Greek and thinks the same way.
For sure.
Yeah.